So now there are 5.46 billion of us. By the middle of next century, 14 billion, and the number now we have is already killing the Earth. So what do we do about it? The way we do it is to educate the women of the planet. Most women don't know what ovulation means. They don't know how they actually conceive, let alone do they have access to contraceptives, let alone do they have a decent standard of living, so they have 10 children because 3 might die. So we have to redistribute the wealth so people can eat, feed their children, give them antibiotics, immunisation, and so as they become educated, the birth rate automatically drops. It's everyone's right to have access to free contraception as it is to food.
In order to solve this problem, we have to also do 3 things. We need to create the conditions that we know cause population growth to stabilize, and that means dealing with the causes of poverty. It means raising the levels of education and literacy, and it means respect for women and giving women the ability to exercise power in society. The second thing we need to do is to speed up the development of new technologies that allow us to have a good standard of living without destroying the environment.
We can provide solar cookers to India, solar houses throughout the world, windmills to generate electricity, big tanks to collect water from the rainwater falling on the roofs. In Australia, every house almost has a rainwater tank. The solutions to the problems of the planet are very simple. They're very low technology, because then the transnationals will lose their influence and monopoly, and we won't have to use what they produce, we can do it ourselves. And that's really the solution to the problems of the Earth.
But the final thing we have to do is to change our way of thinking and understand that not only are we a part of the natural world, we are all obligated to each other and connected to each other. In order to come up with a sensible plan to solve this problem, though, we must understand that the essential ingredient is hope.
We're at the crossroads of time. And if you start complaining and saying it's hopeless or George Bush should or being a victim, you join the negative energy. If you say nothing will stop me, I'm going to step out and save the planet with joy, hope and courage, like Gandhi, like Jesus, or lots of women who ran the peace movement but were not acknowledged, then we'll do it. And I know we can do it.
If you want to send a message to your community and also to the people of South America, plant a tree on behalf of the Amazon. Every time you plant a tree, make a statement that you're planting this on behalf of the Amazon.
And environmentalists have got to set up an infrastructure that will allow native people, it doesn't matter whether it's Sarawak or Papua New Guinea or Brazil or Ecuador, we have to give the value for the forest products to the people who live in the forest and depend on that forest. And what I see is too much where a pittance is being offered to the people who live on the land to essentially rape the landscape, leave them with a few bucks, and their land totally degraded. We need to have environmental groups boycotting those products and those countries that are taking from the native people. And we've got to offer or create a market for those societies. I just saw one in Papua New Guinea that are actually selectively harvesting products from the forest, and they need an outlet where they can get high dollar for their products. We've got to offer that to them. So I think it's up to anyone that cares, who is willing to put their dollars on the line. We've got to create those infrastructures for the native people.
Purchase wisely. Find out which products to buy and which products not to buy. You know, from organisations like Rainforest Action Network, for example, that's something that people can do very simply.
We came here to present a solution. If people look at the fact that the meat trade is the #1 abuser of the environment in terms of cutting down rainforests, in terms of water pollution, in terms of water depletion, and in terms of animal cruelty, we would see that as individuals we can make a very big statement about healing the planet, not just by what we say, but by what we eat.